She came to the place for the second time. The policeman stared down at her from his horse. The time was afternoon. The yellow-colored wall was stretched right along the road. Inside the wall was a large rectangular three-story building. Its small identical windows looked more like dark apertures. The woman stood a few paces away from the horse. The policeman looked behind him at the window, then at the woman. He placed both hands on the pommel of the saddle and closed his eyes. After a while, the horse moved. It was standing halfway down the street. Then, a moment later, it made a half turn and once again stood itself at the top of the street.
The woman came 2 steps forward. The horse beat one of his forelegs. Then gently lowered. "Sir again, please, just let me say 2 words to him." His eyes remained closed. His hands mounted slants of the pommel above the wall struck a fencing of barbed wire at the end of which was a wounded tower. It said there stood an armed soldier. The woman looked another step forward.
Yes, see, he's been transferred. The sun had passed beyond the central point in the sky. Outside this, the winter was still hot and narrow paths of sidelight at the bottom of the wall. The woman transferred the child to her shoulder. Once again looked at the policeman's face. She noticed 2 thin lines of sweat on his forehead.
Quitter, sir, moved away from in front of the horse and wilked beach the well. A bird all halfway along it sat down on head, astonished watching the balloon. The prisoner watching, hung by the army legends curtains vision. She took still between her hands and lifted him above her head. They noticed his arm suddenly being withered, incident, and his hands giving the iron bars up the window.
Then this face disappeared from view. For a while she searched for him among the faces that looked up. She lowered her arms a little and held shots of glare from the window. She spotted his arm once again stretching out towards his face over the clearing in the middle. Up Adinda, up facing toward the sun so I can see him. She lowered her arm for a moment, then raised him up again, turning his face towards the sun. The kill closed eyes and burst
Out crying. He is crying. He turned around laughing. The boy is crying. The little saw and saw Aziza, woman, keep him crying. He kept his hand around his mouth and shouted, "Let him cry."
Again he loud. A few shots went up around him. She heard their words and shouting, then she shoved his large nose poking out through the bars. "Woman, don't be silly. Touch a nose over till a boy hell gets sunstrike." She shooks the child to her chest and saw the soldier withdrawing inside the tower. Did you point there to that poems?
She looked her head. Why not? Why don't you talk? I'm being transferred past by Abu Ismail and tell him I sent him my best wish. He'll do it as fair and prune. The trees, then you can bring along a few dates. Did you bring the cigarette trees? She made a cigarette with her hand. Talk. What are you saying? You good aim. Louder, woman. You good aim. I sent them to you. When? Just now. Her face was against the sun. She shifted her head, fell slightly from her head.
They took a couple of pages never mean Aziza never mean. I looked his voice at become calm. The other faces disappeared from above him, only a single face remaining alongside his. Did you build the wall?
Not yet. Why not? When Uncle Ahmad lights furnace, I'll get some bricks from him. Alright, be careful on the tram. Look after the boy. She remained standing.
Anything you want? No. She gazed and the face his left nose, his bare arms. She smiled. The face next to him smiled back. Suddenly be so did you get him later? I'm being transferred. Where to? I don't know.
When? You sit there pulling down the person? Where will you go? Good knows anywhere, no one knows. When? Into our dice, don't come here again. I will let you know when I'm transferred. Has the boy gone to sleep? No, he's awake. He started back for I will in silence. Again, there was silence. The face alone see his smile. The slowly sleep. Back incident and the shepherd had husband remained slain. His arm around the bird.
Suddenly, he glanced behind him and quickly dragged in his arm with a signal to her to move away desperate from the window. She stepped back, though she remained standing, looking up at the window.